Hi, everyone, and welcome to Faces in the Field. My name's Adam Darengowski. I work with the communications team at Otis Minnesota Services. Of course, Faces in the Field is where we highlight the efforts of one of our teammates making it happen out on the job site. Today, that teammate is Jonas Clark. He is a project and documentation manager. Hopefully, I got that right, but we'll see. Jonas, welcome to Faces in the Field.
How's everybody doing?
Well, first of all, can you just describe what your job looks like? I'm sure it changes every single day for you, but can you just give us a general overview of what your responsibilities are on a daily basis?
Yeah, sure. Right now, we're responsible for our project controls. That starts with our documentation, and it starts with our processes around how we're managing these projects. I'm currently been traveling extensively out through the Midwest, throughout North Dakota, and back to Bemidji, and even heading towards Minneapolis a little bit for some exciting Northern National projects starting. So, working with the PMs to ensure that all of our controls are being followed and that we're getting these projects set up right to begin with, and that we have a good process to manage them going forward.
With the large scale projects that Otis Minnesota Services handles, how important is that planning stage to really set the tone for how a project goes?
If you don't have a good foundation, you're not going to have a very good building. So, it's absolutely critical that we get this right. It'll pay dividends for everyone included. I mean, these projects touch the entire company at some point in time in their life cycle. So, getting this right out of the gate is, in my mind, very important and critical to the success of a project.
What are some of the skills that you either came into this kind of work with, or that you've had to develop, that you have found have become really valuable and a big asset to what you do on a daily basis?
Well, I mean, communication is the biggest one, and communicating through software, having the right documents that tell the story. So we like to, um, you know, run a program for our projects that facilitate the communication of the customers, and we're doing that the same way to ensure that our customers always see a quality product and the same product, so that it's some consistency from us. And so communication, I think, is one of the really big skills that you really have to develop. I think the other one is just using our software to our advantage, whether that be email or field documentation software, back end payroll processing. All of that culminates into one product that gets presented both to our customer and internally to our organization.
Is it ever hard to, the guys in the field, they go out, they dig the trenches, they put the pipe in. Is it hard to be in your position where you're trying to figure out all of those scenarios and try to plan for things that you almost can't plan for?
No, I think that's kind of what we're doing. I mean, I think I heard recently from one of our leaders that these jobs start at the shovel, and if that shovel's not in the right place and hasn't been well planned, then it doesn't, we're not doing a very good job. So taking care of the people in the field is, I think, where we get a lot of gratification on these projects, to make sure that the people that are out there in the weather, and traveling across the country away from their families, are being taken care of, and that's super important.
Yeah. What would you say are some of your favorite parts of the gig that you have? What do you find yourself enjoying, and what's getting you to come back and do it again every day?
I think, well, not only are our projects cool, they're in cool locations. I do enjoy traveling to an extent, so it's fun seeing different parts of the country. But it's just also really enjoyable to people that we have, to work with the people we have, to make them successful. Enjoying that success together is really what drives me.
You're kind of in that facilitator role, like you mentioned. You're trying to support the people in the field that are making, putting the shovel in the ground. How much gratification do you get when a project does go smoothly? You're hitting your margins, you're hitting your schedule dates. What is that feeling like for you as the one of the people that comes in and plans it all?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a good feeling. You know, it helps keep you, you know, personally motivated. Um, but really, you know, I feel good for the people that are out there. You know, that when they've had clear communication, they know where they're going and they know the next project, and you know, things that make everybody else's life easier is really what makes me feel good about it.
Yeah. What was your background? How did you find your way into this? Was this kind of always your goal, or did you take kind of a more circuitous route? What was that like?
That's an interesting question. I really came from a computer background. I ran a large IT department, and part of my job description for that was we had some very large projects. We were a pretty cool shop. We had 65 IT people, and we ran a really large network covering 600 miles um, of different location with remote clinics and such. And part of that was running large projects. So we'd have $2-3 million implementations of software and data center upgrades and implementations. So I really got a feel for project management, and that's what led me into wanting to pursue a PM in the construction industry. I was in the healthcare industry for 20 years and decided that with my kids being away from the house, that it was a good opportunity to see the world a little bit.
If someone is out there and is interested in a career like this, what kind of advice would you give them to break into the field, or what skills they need to have in order to make a successful career out of this?
You know, I would say flexibility. You know, you got to be flexible. You know, to be honest, I'm parked on the side of the road doing this call. So, you know, you got to find a way to you make yourself efficient and also be flexible with you know, the changing construction schedules, because no job is the same. I think you know, a good set of communication skills. We talked about that. Also combined with the ability to use the computer, you know, both from, you know, a back office perspective, but also just know that, you know, what the information that's going into the computer and when it gets distributed can really do for you. It's you know, knowledge is power. I say it all the time. And if you got good data going in, you got good data going out, there's a lot of power to achieve there.
Perfect. Well, we have a program called What I Live For. It just reminds us to be safe. Jonas, what do you live for? What keeps you going? What keeps you working safe?
I'll be a little cliche here. I mean, I obviously work hard for my family. You know, I've got a couple of daughters that are 23 and 25, and one is finally going to be graduating here in May. You know, I have a residence in Marquette, Michigan, and I love the outdoors, and I love being there and having the opportunity to live in that community and support that. I also live for hunting and gathering. I like collecting things in the woods and going after things in the woods, and I love fishing and just being outdoors generally. So I also live for the spice of life, and there's a lot of spice of in this job if you embrace it. So that's what I live for.
You definitely get to see the outdoors in this position, don't you?
Yes, you do. I got to see 200,000 snow geese migrate last week on the way to North Dakota. It was pretty it was like a scene out of you know, planet Earth. So
Yeah.
kind of cool.
And you were David Attenborough in that scenario, right? You.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, Jonas, thank you so much for coming on, and thanks for all you do for OMS.
All right, appreciate it. Have a good day. Thank you.
Yeah. He's Jonas Clark. He is a project and documentation manager here at Otis Minnesota Services. If you want to join Jonas's team, be sure to log on to otisminnesotaservices.com. This has been Facing the Field. We will see you next month.